go over is, whoops, I don't want to click that, is mean, median, and mode. Okay, so here's an example of mean, median, and mode. And one of the questions that came up was, how do you figure out the average, or how do you figure out the mean, the median, and the mode? So in this example, here's a table of data. Now we've been going over different types of tables. So we started with the frequency table, then we did a line plot based on the data in the table. The way you get the average or the mean, if you read here, is you add up all the numbers. So all the data that's here, all the numbers right here, okay? And then you divide it by the number of numbers, or the number of units. So there are 20 numbers. You add them all up, you get 160 right here. And then you divide it by 20, the total number of numbers, and you get an average of 8. Okay, so sometimes it helps if you go ahead and put it in numerical order, starting with the smallest, especially for the median, which is what they did here. So you see that you start with 0, then it goes all the way to the last number, which is 18. And the way you find the middle numbers, there's no calculating on this one. You just count. It's the number or numbers that's in the middle. This happens to be 8 and 8. The two numbers that are in the middle, because it's even, because the total number of units is even, because of that, you're going to have two numbers in the middle, which is 8 and 8. So all you do is add those two numbers up and divide it by 2. Okay, so if you had 7 and 8, then you would add them up, which would be 15, and then divide by 2, so it'd be 7.5. But you want the number in the middle. If it's an odd number of units, then it's really easy, because there's going to be one number in the middle. And whatever that number is, that's going to be the median. It doesn't matter if the range is like 1 to 100, and the median might be 20. Okay, that's not the average. It's the number that's in the middle of the pack. Think of it that way, the middle of the pack. Okay? And then the mode is a number that appears most often. Okay, so the number that appears the most. So in this case, let's do that. In this case, let's see, there's 2 3s, there's 3 8s, there's 2 10s, there's 3 12s, and that's it, right? So the mode is 8 and 12, because those numbers appear the most often. Okay, pretty simple, right? Yes. So the mean is the average, which is why I had you write down those notes, right? Mean equals average. You add them all up, divide by the number of units. Median is the middle. Okay, mean equals average, median equals middle. So it's a number in the middle, directly in the middle. Since this is even, this would be the middle right here. Whatever number is in this spot would be in this spot. And then the mode is the one that appears the most often. Sometimes it's a tie. Like in this example, there are 3 12s and 3 8s. So 8 and 12 would be the mode. All right? Has nothing to do with comparison of the range. Again, you could have a range of 1 to 100, and maybe the mode is 5. So think back to like yesterday's example with the shoe sizes. The ones that had the most, I think it was size 6 and 10. And on the line plot, we were saying we would order more of size 6 and size 10 because those appear the most often. That would be the mode of that line plot. Okay? Does everybody understand?
Yes.
Any questions? Yes.
So this is kind of like it's kind of like the line plot, except you have to look at the numbers and actually count them up instead of plotting them, so it'd be easier.
Yes. Yes, it is similar. The line plot, and the frequency table are all similar. They share similar characteristics. The point of the mean, median, and mode is to give you a better understanding of like the average. You know, on average, what do the students score in school? On average, how much money does this type of a job make? on average, what kind of an allowance do you get? So it's important to know those things if you want to compare it to others. There's the average, then there's the middle, the median. Okay, like on a freeway, the middle, the little divider in between the lanes, that's the median. Okay, the reason why they call it the median is because it's right in the middle of the freeway. And then the mode, you want to know what comes up the most often. So for instance, like when I'm testing, if all of you guys, or let's say 80% of you guys miss number 7, then that shows me that chances are as a class, as a whole, you guys didn't understand number 7. And then I can go back and review that. That was one of the nice things about state testing. Now that state testing is computerized, hopefully all that information will be in a database. So as teachers, I can look back and go, okay, wow, a lot of kids missed this problem. Let's see what this problem is about and why they missed it. Okay, so this kind of data or this kind of information can be very helpful. It can also be wrong because maybe you guys are above average. And so comparing you to the average wouldn't really help you. Okay? Any other questions? All right, good. Let's see, now I gotta turn this off.